2016 all over again?
Looks like it with a little bit of a remix. Let's talk about it, y'all. Middle America. It is currently 1:01 a.m., ladies and gentlemen, Eastern Standard Time. We have yet to see a winner in the Iowa Caucuses, which is obviously an extremely important phase of the election process. Well, let me bring that back. Mr. Trump won on the Republican side. So the Republican caucus got together and they were able to deliver a clear and resounding win for Trump. Unfortunately, the Democrats have not been able to deliver said results because, as you can see in the thumbnail, it is clear something has gone wrong. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Iowa Caucus, which is extremely important and has literally the eyes of the entire country on it, for some strange and inexplicable reason. I heard quality control. Is that what you heard?
That's what I heard.
Quality control.
Yeah.
I heard we want to make sure we have the integrity of the vote. You didn't see this. You were downstairs making some scrumptious keto meal. But Mr. Mayor Buttigieg showed up and declared victory. Said that they were victorious and won Iowa. Now, as I said, it's currently 1:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So maybe by the time you're watching this, dear listener, the actual victor will have had been declared. But it was extremely interesting because when Amy Klobuchar got up there, she basically said, we did a lot better than we thought we would. But the numbers haven't been announced yet. When,
suspicious?
yeah, she basically said we were punching above our weight class, basically, and we held our own. So that's basically what you say when you were expected to lose, but you lost better than you thought you would. Mr. Biden said he didn't say that because he was the prohibited front runner, and since, I mean, you got to think this through. Bernie Sanders wasn't even there. He was too busy in Washington dealing with the impeachment nonsense. Biden, it appears, is second or third, maybe even fourth. He didn't sound very chipper. He basically said we're on to New Hampshire, on to North Carolina, and he kept looking down at the script and his poor wife doing this. And then Mr. Buttigieg got out there and said, basically, we won. Now, we just took Dorian to his first audition for a play, and as we were leaving, I exclaimed with a certain amount of shock that I had finally seen a Pete Buttigieg sticker.
Yeah. That's so funny. I literally was looking at that. It said Pete 2020.
Right.
And I was like, Pete 2020?
Right.
And I couldn't even figure out, for some reason, it was like completely going past me who it was even talking about, because I don't hear a whole lot of people wanting to.
As I said, I haven't met any human beings.
And that's the first of those stickers that I've seen.
Correct. But apparently, Mr. Buttigieg was way more popular than we thought, even though pretty much every poll known to man had Sanders destroying Buttigieg, had Sanders well ahead with millennials and African Americans.
We talked to people all over the place.
Yeah,
and I haven't heard anyone say they were wanting him to be on the top.
The fact that Mayor Pete could even get to the point where he could even declare himself to be the winner, the fact that it was even close. Come on, guys. You all know what this is. I have been telling you this over and over again about the Democratic Party. Do you not see that the exact same principles that got us the Mueller report and this impeachment nonsense is literally the exact principle that got us this nonsense? Even if they find some way, you know, what I think is happening is they're basically putting this out there and testing the water to see how much actual rage there is. Even if they course correct on this, dear listener, and by the time you watch this, Bernie is the winner, he completely stymied his momentum. Completely. you look at every other Iowa winner, that was a massive boom on a massive momentum shift. And here we are now. And Bernie, everybody's leaving, by the way. So Biden said he's leaving. He's like, I'm off to New Hampshire. Buttigieg. All these people are saying that they're leaving. And Bernie's staying. And you know what, Bernie? Because you will not stand up for yourself, because you will not call out the DNC for the BS that they've done to you, because you were too cowardly to fight these people, they did it again. You know, there was talks.
It does. That is what it looks like is going on here. There was talks what?
Well, there were talks about the, one of the ways Hillary stole the election was that there's this thing called superdelegates at the DNC convention, and then there's a round one, and then if you can't find a deciding winner, there's a round two. But the superdelegates cast the majority of their votes with Hillary, which was one of the reasons that Bernie couldn't win the election. So this round, everybody's like, the DNC's like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're going to put the superdelegates in the second round. So if we can't come to a clear winner, then it's going to go to the second round to the superdelegates. Well, earlier today, there was a lot of like rumor mongering that they had actually reversed it and went back to the 2016 one. And everybody started freaking out. And now, lo and behold, Iowa's stuck. And Buttigieg is running around calling himself the winner. Look, even if Buttigieg is wrong tomorrow, let's say at 4 a.m. or 5:30 a.m. or whatever, it doesn't matter. On the night that all of us were prepped to hear who the winner was, the only person who declared himself to be the winner was Pete Buttigieg.
Yep. That's it.
Unbelievable. But you know what? I have been telling you this from the beginning. Now, I did not.
There's no confusion on the Republican side.
I did not predict this nonsense. This is just, Alec is texting me. He's like, first of all, Alec is not even a fan of Bernie. If Bernie gets a nomination, he's not even going to vote for them. But, I mean, here we go. These people are legitimately rigging this right in our face. I'm honestly shocked. I never thought I'd see this in a developed nation. This is some Liberia, South African type of shit.
Oh, no.
Quality, 100% true. Quality control, quote unquote. Obama came out about 3 months ago saying he would not allow Bernie to be the nominee. Hillary, we all know what she did and what she said, and she did it again this week, talking about how horrible Bernie is. The establishment does not want Bernie Sanders in. And
I don't understand it.
Well, what happens is he's against corruption. He's against all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so if he gets the nomination, then the way that they line their pockets is going to be compromised on infinitum. The other thing is that many of the gatekeepers in the Democratic Party do not believe that Sanders can win on a socialist platform or a democratic socialist platform. Because it just so happens that with Trump's version of capitalism has been working very well for the economy.
Absolutely.
Those are facts. And so they're, on a political side, they're thinking, man, there's no way you're going to be able to convince people of any sort of democratic socialism when Trump's regressive capitalism has, we just saw him on Fox News talking about everybody's wealth is going to be gone with Medicare for all, yada, yada. I guess there's no rich people in the UK because all their wealth is going to the NHS. I mean, the NHS has its problems, but, so anyway, they don't want this guy to win. The DNC does not want this guy to win, and it is, but look, I have been telling y'all this. Anytime the DNC loses fair and square, they can't take the L. Did you see what happened yesterday in the Super Bowl? Very controversial play. There was a pass interference call, and then there was a touchdown call when the guy was out of bounds. He didn't break the play and all that stuff. But you know what? San Francisco took the loss. They stood up like men in front of the cameras and said, we lost, we'll be back next year. But can the DNC countenance any losing? No. We saw this in 2016. They had anointed the Messiah, your Lord and Savior, Hillary Rodham Clinton. And how dare Bernie even have the audacity, the temerity, the unmitigated gall to run against the chosen one? And then we find out via WikiLeaks and Donna Brazile et al. That Hillary was actually running the DNC while she was running for president, and that the CNN anchors were handing her questions hours prior to the event, did not do so for Bernie. And then we found out from WikiLeaks that they stole the election. Vox even had to report on it, etc., etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put up the most unlikable Homo sapien on the face of the earth and in the history of American politics, and she lost. And she got worked. She lost by like 79 plus electoral votes. Good night.
Yep.
Then what happened? Mr. Trump elects Kavanaugh for the Supreme Court, and we saw all the Kavanaugh craziness because these people were scared to death that Kavanaugh was going to be the deciding factor on Roe v. Wade.
Mm-hmm.
So they drummed up all these accusations, to which this moment I don't know are true. What I do know is true, that multiple women, 2 of them at least, came out and said that they made up what they had to say because they were mad and because it was tactical. She literally used that phraseology.
So bad.
Then
that is like, I cannot stand when women don't stand together. And when you go up there and you put out false accusations, then you make it so that way whoever has a real situation, who really brings stuff forward,
Correct.
people don't take those women seriously.
Correct.
And that, I
Correct.
tell you, I can't stand
Correct.
it. Women need to stand together.
Correct. But this is a DNC consistently playing psychological operations and playing with fire.
I get that. But why would we allow ourselves to be pawns of the DNC, women?
Well, I mean, I think they phrased it as, look, they're going to take Roe v. Wade from you. You're a woman. You're the only one that can stop it. Da 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 da. Then after that, we had the Mueller report, in which Mr. Trump was accused of using Russian intelligence in order to dig up dirt on Hillary Clinton. And what we found out during the Mueller report was there was no such evidence to suggest that in any way, shape, or form. But what we did do is we found out that Ms. Rodham Clinton employed Fusion GPS, which is Oppo research, and actually met with the Russian apparatus, and then was in cahoots with the dude that formed the Steele dossier.
Surprise!
And when Mr. Mueller was asked about it, he said it was outside of his purview. Then Mr. Mueller was asked about 2 of his lawyers, one of which said "Vive la resistance" in regard to resisting Mr. Trump, outside of his purview.
Yep.
They lost the Mueller thing. He melted down horribly. Mm-hmm. It was an embarrassment. You know, he even tried to say, well, initially he said, well, the only reason I'm not indicting him is because you can't indict a sitting president. And then literally 20 minutes after his speech, he went back into the Senate Intelligence Committee and said, earlier I said that's not true, because I didn't have enough to get him. So we saw the Mueller report crash and burn. Then we had the Ukraine call. Ukraine, we're supposed to believe that Donald J. Trump was so scared of Joe 330 Biden. Joe Biden, who at this moment, it did not appear as if he believed that he even won Iowa. It looks like he came in second or third, possibly even fourth place. I can't even say it with a straight face. Don't you see what these people do? Don't you understand? It does not matter if you are Democrat or Republican. If the DNC does not want you in power, they will do anything. They will try to sabotage you. They will go after your family. They will do anything to regain power. And that includes going after the right. It also includes going after people like me and you. Notice I didn't say going after Bernie. And here's the thing that gets me about Bernie, what he doesn't understand. Bernie, it is not about you. You know, when people say, oh, why isn't Bernie defending himself? Mm-hmm. Bernie doesn't need to defend himself. He needs to defend the people that want to vote for him.
Right.
Bernie's a millionaire. He had that little heart condition. He went in there, he's back better than ever because he recognizes that he's in a privileged position in order to do that. Mm-hmm. But let that happen to regular Joe. Hello, Bernie. You're supposed to be supporting regular Joe. And when you let these evil bastards walk all over you and you won't fight, you're not turning the other cheek. You are leaving the lambs to the wolves. What don't you understand about that, Mr. Sanders?
Yeah.
The man refuses to stand up for himself, and so here we go. They did it again. You think that if this was Tulsi that she would be in this position? Tulsi, who called out CNN on the debate stage. Tulsi, who shut Hillary Clinton's mouth. You think that would have happened to Tulsi? Now here you go, Mr. Sanders. And you know what? You know what's interesting? You know what tomorrow is?
What?
Tomorrow is Mr. Donald J. Trump's State of the Union address. So he's going to have a platform to address the entire nation. How much you want to bet this nonsense
it's coming up
is going to be front and center? These imbeciles who spent millions of dollars on Ukraine and Russia couldn't put together a successful Iowa caucus in one of the most important elections of my lifetime. We got RBG. There's no way in the world RBG is going to survive 5 years in the Supreme Court. That's not going to happen. We currently have a House lead with the Democrats. So you would have the executive in the House, and then you'd have to wrangle with the Senate to get the votes to pass Medicare for all. All these things are on the line. And who emerges as the victor? Mayor Pete. Unbelievable. You know what? Anybody, look, if you have, I've been trying to tell you guys about this Russiagate stuff. Jimenez was trying to tell us too about the being short-sighted. You were fine when they used the dishonest tactics against Trump with Russia and Kavanaugh and the Ukraine thing. You were fine with it, but then you get pissed off when they do the same thing to Bernie. It is literally the same principle. If I can't beat you, I'm not going to accept the loss and learn the lessons. I am going to find a way to take it from you. Oh my goodness. This is the most blatant display of complete disregard and disrespect for the opinions of the American people. And look, you know, Hillary did this, right? In that big interview she did, she was talking about how sorry she felt for the Bernie supporters. Remember that? I feel so sorry for them because it's all baloney. I'm so sorry. This paternalistic, or in her case, maternalistic, condescending, oh, you silly little idealist Bernie supporter. Oh, I feel so bad for you.
Yeah.
Look, if you're a Bernie supporter, at some point, you've got to hold this man accountable to hold these people accountable. I don't care what happens tonight. He got screwed. Lovely. It doesn't matter. Even if they turn around and give it to him, it doesn't matter. The damage has already been done. And you know what else? Now the establishment media, who hates Bernie, because here's what everybody was predicting. What they were predicting was the establishment media was going to say, well, I mean, Iowa's white, there's only 4% African American, so that doesn't really represent the electorate, so Dick Lock's right twice a day. That's what they were going to say about Bernie. Now, the DNC has given the establishment media everything they need to say about Bernie in the event that they give him back the nomination. Because all they have to say is, well, I mean, he won under some pretty precarious circumstances, and Mayor Pete probably should have won. They're going to hitch their wagons to Mayor Pete, and there we are. You saw the pattern. They hitched their wagons to Kamala. Tulsi took Kamala down. Then they punished Tulsi for having the audacity to take down Kamala on her record. Then Biden became the guy, but Biden disqualified himself because his mind is leaving him, and I think that's sad. I don't think it's funny. And then they hitched their wagons to Warren, but unfortunately, when Warren lied about Bernie being a misogynist who did not believe that a woman could win the presidency, her stock went down, and he surged. There's only one guy left. It's literally process of elimination. Now they're hitching their wagons to Mayor Pete. This is unbelievable. But this is what happens. Democrats allowed their party to carry around this impeachment nonsense. They allowed them to do this Mueller nonsense. They allowed them to do that. And completely forgetting that these were the same group of people that screwed us out of Bernie the first time.
Yep.
And they did not see the pattern. I've been telling y'all over and over again that the powers that be in the DNC have an established pattern of not being able to lose. And you know, and I know, the entire Mueller report stupidness and the entire Zelensky call, even though Zelensky said on multiple occasions, I never felt pressured about anything. You know what I know? That it was the DNC saying, we cannot beat Donald Trump with a run-of-the-mill party hack.
Yep.
But we can beat Mike Pence. That's all it was from the beginning. You know it. I know it. Can we just be honest about it? Well, if you allow that behavior to go unchecked, it's not going to be long before the sword gets turned on you. And that is exactly what is happening. And here's the thing that blows my mind. They already did it to us in 2016 with Bernie.
And they just wasted so much time doing silliness instead of actually like, I don't know, like coming to terms with where they're at and, you know, setting some new, I don't know, some new agendas and like going further with things. But instead they're like, Russia, this, that, the other thing. And it's like, why are you wasting? Now we're going to go and we're going to try to impeach Trump. And then all this stuff is coming out and it's not even going where they had wanted it to go. And they're just left standing there looking foolish.
But these people would rather lose to Trump than win with Bernie. Those are the facts. This is absolute madness. This is absolute madness. And you know, I've been saying this since year one of Trump. When I would listen to these DNC officials, I'm like, well, they don't get it. They don't understand why they lost.
Yeah.
They still don't get it. Up to less than 7 days ago, there's Don Lemon and all that mocking every Trump supporter on the planet. These people, they really don't get it. Trump had this massive turnout in Iowa. He wasn't even being contested. It wasn't even being contested. Trump sent his son down there. They just go over there and kind of walk around, and they were clapping and cheering and crying for this guy. I just got done watching Gates talking about all these blue staters running into the Iowa caucuses and want to talk. It's just, this is a complete mess. The DNC has completely, and you're trying to tell me that this, and what happened last election cycle, you're trying to tell me that the Russians had more of an influence over our elections than this bullshit? Really? Do me a favor. Email me your phone number, your social security number, and your bank routing number, and I will make you a very, very rich man. I got a friend in Kenya. What is happening?
Wild.
You know why I'm so angry? It is this assumption that regular people who are not part of their little elite club are dumb.
Yeah.
We're not dumb. But you know, Don Lemon showed it, you know, laughing at those dumb Trump supporters, and then you got Hillary saying, I just feel so sorry for those stupid Bernie people. Are so dumb. They're so childish and naive and Pollyannish. I just feel so bad for them. That's how they think of us. That's how dumb, stupid, and just childishly developed and mentally they think we are. So they do stuff like this, and then trot out Pete Buttigieg or whoever, and we're just supposed to go, oh, I guess that's what happened. Come on, y'all.
We got red flags up everywhere around here.
You know what this is. This is absolute madness. I don't know if Bernie has spoken yet. But man, a messy delay leaves Iowa without a winner. You know, the thing that really kills me is you get all these young people who were engaging in the political process. I heard Bernie's team knocked on 500,000 doors.
Yeah.
These kids who couldn't vote because they were too young, but said, you know what, I'm going to do my part. Pounding the pavement for this specific night.
Yeah.
And this is how the DNC treats its future constituency. You silly people. The DNC, you know what the DNC is like, the abusive boyfriend who keeps smacking you in the mouth, but never believes that you're going to leave.
Yep. Yeah.
because they keep doing this emotional blackmail and this political blackmail that says, look, you're either going to vote for who you want, or you're going to have another 4 miserable years of Trump, and more of your friends are going to die because they can't afford insulin. They keep doing that to us. You silly people, you played chicken with the American voter 4 years ago, and we got Trump. You guys go through with this. You've already done insurmountable damage to yourself. Because now, the Bernie or bust people are going to be even more doubled and tripled down.
Yep.
Wow.
We need to make some major changes.
And look, there it is. State of the Union tonight at 8 p.m. Inshallah, we have a winner by then, folks. Who knows? I don't know what to say. I'm genuinely surprised at the abject stupidity of the Democratic National Convention. This is absolutely crazy. And if you're one of those folks that, Bill Maher, oh my God, our democracy is dead, blah, 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 because the Senate wouldn't vote to have more witnesses, even though Schiff said that he had already proven his case. This is the thing that gets me about these media folks on the left talking about how democracy died today. Remember this day. Hello! This is democracy dying. This is democracy dying. This nonsense. What happened in 16? That was democracy dying. Trump calling up Zelensky and telling him to look into one of the most corrupt human beings in our political apparatus is not democracy dying.
Right.
This is democracy dying.
Yeah.
And I've been telling y'all this over and over again, and they did it again. Good God. How do you think we ended up with Trump in the first place? You honestly believe that Bernie Sanders would have lost to Trump? Stop it.
Not the first time. I don't think he would have. I think you're right.
Stop it. He would. No way.
But at this point, I think there's nothing. I don't think there's anything anybody can do. I think Trump's going to win.
Look, you got Obama came out and spoke against him. Hillary came out and spoke against him. Trump's going to use all that. Because at the end of the day, Obama is going to have to endorse Bernie if Bernie gets the nod. But we've already got you on record saying you want to sabotage his campaign. Obama? Look, the reason I'm really upset here is these kids. I'm looking at these kids.
Oh, man. I know, going door to door and stuff. Yeah.
And you just crushed the soul of these kids, man.
Yeah.
And you made them. You just jaded these kids who really believed in the process and really wanted to participate.
That's
and really believed in somebody who'd been preaching the same message since decades before they were even born. And now you're going to try to take that from them. That's not right. And you're going to reap the whirlwind for this. Like I said, I don't care if they make it right and give it to Bernie. Damage is already done. There has got to be somebody on the Trump team in the DNC at a very high level.
Yeah.
These continuous strategic errors are inexplicable. Otherwise, I am really convinced there has to be.
I don't know. They just seem so obsessed with Trump, and sometimes when people are like that, it messes with their minds. You know what I mean? Because they're making ridiculous decisions.
It's all about the power grab, and their
I feel like so much of what they're doing is just so that way they can beat Trump instead of like.
But yeah, if they wanted to beat Trump,
I don't think they're putting out the energy of like, hey, this is who we are. I actually think that they're losing their identity, and their identity is getting tied up in who that they're just against Trump. Like, forget about Trump. Be who you are, and put out your policies. Why is this always about Trump? Forget about Trump.
That's why we're not hearing any news stories front page about the Alex Smiths of the world who are dying because of lack of insulin, because of the faulty nature of Obamacare. I mean, we're just. the end of the day, guys, what can I say? Love your neighbor.
Take care of each other.
Middle America.
We are the media.
Till next time, guys.